1, 2, 3. Hey! That's cool. I think it's the same thing, but it's okay.
There we go.
Yo, make sure you tag me, dog. Get that airdrop.
Hey, man, we'll be Ali happy. Be happy, man. Feito.
You got it, you got it.
Dominance.
Hey, listen, we're all honored here, me and all the partners and the coaches at Tyson Ranch to have everyone here. And we just like to let all fighters know our doors are always open to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Big crew up there. We got to start with the man that I haven't seen in the longest. That'd be Anthony Rumble Johnson back there. It's been about 2.5 years at this point since we got a chance to see you compete. People still ask about you every day, man. So give us the update. You're starting to get the itch to come back. What's the feel right now?
It's good to see you, man. How you been?
Good, thank you.
I'm back because I want to be back. You know, some people want to say it's for money. Some people want to say whatever. You know, honestly, I'm back because I want to come back. And DC and Stipe actually got me motivated to come back. You know, so I give them the credit for actually making me want to fight again.
When you say that they motivated you to come back, it was their fight itself that made you want to come back?
Yeah, their last fight was such a good fight. You know, it just made me just get that itch again, just to want to go out there and beat some people up.
How much has training been a part of your process during this time away? I mean, did you step completely away? Did you stay in the gym? What was it?
No, for 2 years I didn't do anything. I didn't want to have anything to do with mixed martial arts at all. I was honestly just burnt out. You know, just was done with it. So I think over the 2 years I was out, I maybe watched 3 fights, something like that. I don't know any of the new fighters or anything like that. So I'm the old man of the group now.
So what's the plan from here? I mean, do you have a target date in mind, or what do you do?
Hopefully April. I'm trying to fight by April of next year, sure.
What's the dream matchup? I mean, are we going right to the top of the division? Is it John Jones, maybe?
Everybody. I'm trying to make everybody a suspect, a victim of what I can do.
And last thing for me, I mean, is this a short-term thing? I mean, do you think you go back in there and say, you know what, I think this still sucks? Or do you think like, hey, I'm making a run?
I'm pretty sure it still suck at times, but I plan on sticking around for a little bit.
Thanks, Andy. I want to talk to the man next to you, Corey. I know you wanted a big fight next. You know, you wanted somebody, you were angling for a title fight. You know, instead you get this kind of up-and-coming contender. I'm curious what you thought about the matchup, and if it excites you, if it frustrates you, what your feeling was.
I mean, it's a little bit of both. A lot of excitement because the excitement behind his name, the name Johnny Walker. You know, you can't mention him now and the casual's not bust a nut. So if I go out there and bust his ass, you know, I feel like that'll put me in a good spot. And yeah, I wanted the title fight. I feel I deserve the title fight. But as we all see now, the UFC isn't what it used to be. It isn't if you beat the top guy, you get that spot. It's who's going to sell the top tickets and the top number and be exciting. And that's what it takes to get those fights, I guess.
So do you feel like, I mean, this fight could be enough, or do you just don't even know these days?
I mean, I feel it should be enough. At the same time, I wouldn't put it past him that I wouldn't. You know, they said the same thing at Glover, him being number 3. Everybody in the media said, you should definitely be top 5, you'll be next in the running. And I said right there, like, don't count your chickens yet, I doubt it. And sure enough, rankings came out, I was ranked like 8th or 9th, and I keep going down. So you never know, we have to see what happens.
You mentioned the hype around him. I mean, as you said, the casual flight, he does have a lot of hype. Do you think he's deserving of it, or do you think it's too much?
I mean, it's a little too much. He's excited. You can't take that from him. He's excited. He does exciting things. He's got 3 first-round finishes. But then you ask yourself, who has he finished? You know, the guys that he finished, it ain't like he's going out there and doing it to the guys, the title contenders. Like, I'm going out there, I dominated Glover Teixeira, who was a title contender. You know, he fought for the title. He's beating guys that's never even got past the top 10 yet. So I just need to go out there and show that he hasn't beat anybody in the top 10 yet.
Last thing for me, I saw your camp t-shirt. It can only last so long. That's the message. What does that mean? What's the genesis of that?
I mean, that's just like everything. They say embrace the grind, you know. It came to me, my father said it to me when I was a kid in high school playing football. I was getting ready to quit. I was tired, you know, and he came up and ran and said, it can only last so long. So then he disappeared. And I remember it was when the Ultimate Fighter in the sauna couldn't wait. Somebody said like, yo, we only got so much longer in here. And I thought about it. It only lasts so long. And I just think about everything in life, no matter how hard it is, how tough it is, no matter what you're going through, hard times, tough times, great times, it can only last so long. You can only be at the top for so long, you can only be at the bottom for so long. Everything can only last so long. So remember that and just keep your nose to the grindstone and get it done.
Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it. Just lastly, I want to wrap up with Dan. You're in kind of a unique position here, right? I mean, you're an athlete, but you're part of the Dominance MMA management team as well. So I just wonder kind of what it feels like for you right now to be up here. Are you an athlete? Are you a manager? What's going on?
What's up, guys? Hello. First of all, thank you, Tyson Ranch, for hosting this amazing event, you know, here at Dominance MMA. But today, I'd say I'm a fighter, you know. I know there's certain times you have to put on the fighter hat and you got to put on the manager hat. Because if you're that fighter 100% every day, you know, you could burn out. But same with the manager side. So it's good to have that balance in life and, you know, get in the cage and be an animal.
I know the fighter in you teased a little bit of fight news. I know fighters aren't supposed to break their own fights, but as a manager, certainly, you know, on or off record, you could tell us what you got coming up next.
Yeah, I don't have a bout agreement signed yet, but I can say I will be fighting early next year, and it will be against a ranked opponent. So
I was going to ask you, I know you wanted a ranked opponent, so it is a ranked opponent. What are the goals? I know you want to try to get one more in this year, right? So you have to wait till next year. What are the goals? Because you wanted to break into the rankings this year.
yeah, you know, we write down goals, and sometimes, you know, we don't get in within our timeline, but, you know, that only makes me hungrier. My goal is to be ranked by the end of 2019, and it looks like it's going to happen in 2020, but, you know, I'm going to hit that goal regardless of the day, and I will be ranked, you know, early next year.
So question is for Aaron Pico. So is it emotionally difficult watching the Bellator Featherweight Grand Prix play out right now without you?
I mean, a little bit. Sometimes, I mean, you're like, you know, there's a lot of guys in there that I feel like it can be. But right now, I'm enjoying my time not being in the tournament. I don't really have to worry about that stress or have to worry about anything other than just, you know, taking one fight at a time. So in a way, it kind of makes sense that, you know, that I'm not in the tournament. But for sure, I would be lying if I said sometimes I wish I was. Sometimes I go back and forth. Sometimes I wish I was, and then sometimes I'm like, you know, it's a good thing that I'm not. But I think overall, it's best that I'm sitting out the tournament for sure.
And now you've kind of passed your first training camp with the Jackson Wing Camp. Do you feel more so that the pieces are kind of falling in line now?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel really good being out in Albuquerque. I really enjoy it. I love Greg Jackson and you know, Six Gun and Coach Wayne. They've done, you know, a really good job with, you know, breaking things down for me. Really young in the game, got a lot of skills, but I need to slow it down a little bit and really learn a lot. So luckily for me, Greg is taking the time. I'm very fortunate that he, you know, spends a lot of time with me, as do all the coaches. So I feel really good being in Albuquerque for sure.
And just as a fan, who are you know, kind of favoring to win this tournament?
The Bellator tournament?
Yes.
AJ McKee. I feel he'll win the tournament. Yeah, hands down.
Next is for Mark Madsen. So you had a very impressive debut and in front of your home country to add on to the drama. How fast are you seeing yourself rising up the ranks in the UFC?
Hello guys. Well, I guess time will tell. Honestly, I believe I have the potential to beat everyone in the lightweight division. But I'd like to take my time, develop. I'm pretty new in the sport. I retired wrestling 18 months ago, moved into MMA. I'll take my time, develop, and see where the future will bring me.
All right, and can you juxtapose the level of nerves or just kind of the level of hype around competing on the world stage in the Olympics and then having a co-main event for your UFC debut in your home country? Well, which one felt a little bigger to you?
Well, honestly, competing on the world's biggest MMA stage, the UFC is a pretty big deal, right? This was my my debut. I thought I would be fighting on the prelims. I got bumped up being a co-main event in front of 13,000 Danish fans. Enormous hype in Denmark, you know, it was a lot of pressure. It was an exciting challenge, and well, I got to put it all the way out there. Winning an Olympic medal and performing in front of a home crowd is, the feeling is pretty much the same. It was very exciting.
Thank you. Next one is for Marvin Vittori. So Marvin, you until your fellow Dominance Management client Kelvin Gastelum fought Israel Adesanya, that was you were considered his toughest test. Now seeing his success since you two fought, is that boosted your confidence at all? Does it add to your assurance that you can make an impact on the UFC?
I knew from before. I mean, I think I know him pretty well. You know, meet him in the cage, it means more than actually hearing whatever he says and whatever he does. And even not just the fight, just right after the fight, I feel like I see his true colors, and yeah, I definitely. I mean, my fight with him. What's crazy is that it was almost like a year and a half ago, and in the last year and a half, I've improved so much. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm sure he's improved too, but I feel like I really like found like a stepping stone in my career, and I improved a lot. And the problem that I gave him a year and a half ago, and comparing to what I was a year and a half ago, I think in the next time I'll meet him, there won't be no doubt. But I mean, it's past, and I'm looking to the present now. I have a fight in less than a week. So I'm just gonna keep doing my thing, and I know deep inside I can be the world champion. So I just have to keep going on this path, and time will show. You know, like I'm not really focused on this, but I knew before that I can have an impact on this division for sure. And from the first day that I'm here, I'm in for this. But yeah, I mean, he did good. He's the champ right now, and can't wait to meet him again.
Similar questions for Mr. Brunson up there. You tweeted that it was bittersweet watching Whitaker and Adesanya fight. I'm curious what else went through your mind when you were watching that spectacle, the crowd, Israel Adesanya's entrance, and then the actual fight itself. What was going through your mind watching that?
I don't know. Like you said, it was bittersweet. I don't like to make excuses. We sign up for fights, we go out there and fight. But a lot of the fights that I lost, it was kind of due to my dumbness, you know, just a little too aggressive, didn't have the right mentality, kind of trained at home in my comfort zone. And even with the Israel fight, we had a hurricane, so I was without power for like 2 weeks. I didn't train for like 2 weeks, and I had a pregnant fiance, you know. So it's just a lot of things that come up that it's not really worth sharing because it don't matter. You go out there and you fight, you win or you lose. But me personally, dealing with myself, I'm like, man, I know I can win these fights, you know, if I had the proper preparation. And switching up my training camps, being in Florida at Hard Knocks for like the last 2 camps has been really big for me, you know. Really good training partners, really good coaching staff. And I feel going forward that we can really make a huge impact.
Thank you. And then one quick one for Mr. Pico. I spoke to your coach, Greg Jackson, in July, and he actually said he wanted you back in the cage, a quick turnaround after your last fight. You're saying you've enjoyed your time away. Was it your choice to take this time off, or did you have to tell your coaching staff to pump the brakes too?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wanted, like, after a fight you lose, you want to go right back in, but I think it was best for me just to take some time off and really develop, let my body heal, and yeah, I think it was the best for me, just so I can just spend weeks with Greg and the coaches there and really learn rather than just jumping straight into fight camp, because sometimes it's fight camp is different than actual out of camp. Out of camp you get to like learn and try different things in training. So I think the time away from the cage was good for me. But now we should be looking for a fight soon and get right back in the cage. I need it.
Yeah, that was my next question. Is there any word from Bellator what they're targeting for you next in terms of opponent or date or anything like that?
Yeah, it should be end of November, beginning of December. We should know soon. So yeah, just waiting on Bellator. I'm ready, and we'll be back soon.
And then one final one for Mr. Perez in the back. You recently signed with Bellator. You fought in the UFC, you fought in Kabache. So I'm curious what went into your decision to sign with Bellator this time?
This time, I was freezing in one contract for 1 year, and now I'm free. So Bellator got me, and I wanna fight very soon, like in December, November. I'm waiting till Bellator ask me to fight.
Does the fact that they do a lot of cross-promotion fights, or they'll do promote fights with Ryzen where you can go overseas and fight in the ring, did that entice you at all to sign with Bellator?
No, I just wanna fight soon. Is why I signed with Bellator. Thank you.
This is a question for the group, so anyone who wants to chime in, please do. Just wondering the idea of respect, what that means to you as a fighter, what that means in the game of mixed martial arts. Anyone want to chime in and sort of talk about, is it better to be respected, better to be rich? What does that mean for you as a competitor in this sport? Anybody want to chime in first? Aaron, do you want to start?
I'm Bubba Jiggins, and respect to me is, just kind of understanding the boundaries, having that understanding of moral boundaries, of not really going over the line, and going into sensitivity in areas that, when it comes to selling the fight, that we all know are not to be touched. And during the fight and after the fight, to have that same moral type of compass and class after the fight, to have the ability to show your comrade and your person who you shared the cage with, have the ability to show them that same kind of fortitude that you would like if you had taken a loss. So really, I think respect is a strong place of caring for people with class the same way you would like to be cared for.
Anyone else want to chime in? Not after that answer. Thank you.
I'll follow up with Bubba right here. You had teased, I think, I don't know, it was earlier this week maybe, that you had big news coming. I'm just curious if you could maybe elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I mean, big news is that we all here. This is a stage that I'm new to, as far as the type of names being under one management and having the power of these minds that I've never had before. Big news is, I'm finally, I would say, the diamond in the rough that hasn't been found, and I'm here with guys who have shared pay-per-view, who have shared championships, who have shared different things, and I guess I would be that I'm new to the stage, and me coming out and saying, hey guys, I'm wearing a red hat and red shoes, and I'm sharing the stage with legends, and the big news is I'm finally living up to that ability that I would say the game knew I was going to come with.
Just to elaborate on that or follow up, what do you feel like has clicked for you? Because it seems like over these last couple of years you really have taken it to a new level with your career.
Man, I would say validation is in the womb of timing, and I knew that I was going to be good, and I knew that I could do great things with my wrestling ability, and just the fact that I was a smart athlete, and putting the striking and the MMA and the jiu-jitsu, putting that all together to form a complete science of who I am is basically what we clicked. I stopped trying to mold myself into all these other things that people wanted me to be. I started to see the game for myself, and I made my own kind of vision of what I wanted to be, and now I am that, and I'm walking in that. I finally know who I am and what I am, so that's what clicked.
What is
Sorry guys, I got a plane to catch in about an hour, so I'm leaving. But thank you for everybody coming here, and it was an awesome stage, and thank you very much to everybody. See you soon.
Last thing for Bubba from me. What is sort of the immediate goal for you now? Are you with Brave? It seems is that kind of where you want to do for the next year or two, or do you have goals outside of that as well?
I'm the champ right now at 145 in Brave, and my ranking in the world is going up. I guess you could say I'm buzzing like a bee after steamrolling a pretty famous Brazilian fighter, and I think I'm just gonna listen to the Kingmaker. He's got all these people here, and he's done a lot of good things for their career, and I've been running the ball, as you can say, myself for a long time, and I'm finally giving the keys over to Ali and Dominance, and I can only imagine amazing things coming. You know, as I sit here on the stage, as these guys are my witness, big things are coming for not only myself, but each and every one of them.
Awesome, appreciate it, man. Real quick for Claudia, your foot's okay, right? Everything's good with the foot?
It fell off the other day, but yeah, my foot is fine.
What was that? Was that just a fake foot that you had?
It was like I was in a Halloween party and they had that foot there. I thought it was interesting.
I think it was way
Yeah,
too
sorry for the joke, guys.
That was really realistic. How have things been over in New Jersey with everybody? I mean, this is now, you've had some time now to really acclimate there. How have you been enjoying it there?
Yeah, so I broke my finger. I broke a finger in my last fight and I twisted my ankle, so I torn a ligament in my ankle. So I've been treating these injuries for the last couple months in Las Vegas in the PI. I'm going back to New Jersey Saturday to train with Mark and Ricardo, Corey, Frankie, all these guys. And I'm so excited, you know, I'm gonna be there for 7 weeks. I'm 9 weeks out now, so it's time to get my ass back there and train.
Last thing, what do you think about the state of the division at this point? I think a lot of people were surprised by what Well Lee did to Jessica not too long ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised too. You know, I knew somebody was gonna do this to Jessica one day, you know, because she's a brawler. She just throw punches and she's very strong. But I didn't know it was gonna be Willie. You know, I was very surprised with how the fight happened. You know, but I'm happy now. You know, the division is moving, and we don't know what's gonna happen.
When you look at her as champion, do you feel like she's a good matchup for you?
Yeah, I do. I just don't know a lot about her. You know, I didn't know what was gonna happen between her and Jessica because we don't know a lot about her. She has 4 fights in the UFC, and you know, she fought good fighters, you know, but we haven't seen that much of her until she fought Jessica. So I'm excited to see a little more of her.
Thank you.
So I was just going to ask you about Cynthia, you know, how do you see that fight going and preparation going to the fight, how do you feel right now?
I'm excited for that fight because I feel like I fight better when I have good competition, you know, and Cynthia is a good competitor. She fights for her life, so do I, you know, and she likes to bang and I do. I think we have similar styles, and I think it's a good fight for me, you know.
Benil, this is actually a question for you, but it's about Giga. Because Giga won his first fight in the UFC in Denmark. Now, I know you've been training with him for a long time. Maybe Giga, I'm going to ask you about Benny as well. But, you know, this is somebody that we knew should have been in the UFC for quite some time. So I feel like you're probably like a proud big brother up here. What did you think of that? And how do you feel about him finally being in there with you?
Oh man, we were just joking right now about finally sitting next to each other, you know, in the media. I said next thing we're gonna do is fight next to each other, you know, in the same show. We're gonna fight in the same show. When he called me and he says, "Hey, I'm fighting in the UFC," at first I was like, "What? No way!" I'm like, "When?" He's like, 2 weeks. I was like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "You can't. I can't be there. If I'm not gonna be there, you can't fight." And we talked about it, and he took the fight. But just watching him fight, I felt like I was in the fight. I'm thinking about the fight right now, I'm sweating. I was like, when he got taken down, I'm like, Giga, get up. Damn it, Giga, get up. It's been such a roller coaster from the outside, from me watching him, and I can't imagine for him. So I'm so grateful for him to finally be here.
And Giga, yeah, I mean, obviously you have a great team down there at Kings MMA. How have they prepared you for now? I mean, you have so much world experience in that one gym.
Yeah, so I've been waiting for this time to tell and share the whole story. I believe the time is not going to be enough to talk about that. So I moved here. I was actually visiting LA in 2014 in summer, and came down from LA very last day when I was going to leave back to Amsterdam, and met Master Rafael Guardeiro. Benil Darius was actually, Baba was inside the gym that day. That was my first day when you were there too. And we had a great training, and after that Benny and Master, they opened the door.
they opened the door and I got super excited to move here. Did my first trip, was amazing, and since then I decided to move my family. And since then, Benny and all the Kings are like only family for me here. You know, like, of course, I have few people from Georgia, which I'm very close, but these people for me being like fathers, brothers, or I don't know, super important. I was sharing each minute of training with these beasts, and I was getting more motivated and motivated. And finally, 2 weeks ago, we made it, and I know how happy is this family for me. I know it's not just for me. And of course, I represent my country as well, which they were getting crazy there. But yeah, these people are super important in my life, and which I'm very thankful as well.
Now, Mark, I've had the opportunity, Giga told me that you were down at King's training. So, you know, when we were in Denmark the other day, that sounds so cool to say, actually, that was an amazing place. But you talked about the fact that you don't have a great opportunity for certain kinds of training partners. So are you really considering moving here to the States, or at least spending some extended time here to train?
Yeah, I'll be doing my camps here in the States. So whenever I have a fight, I'll be coming here. I mean,
which gym though?
Wherever I get the best training. I mean, the States has a bunch of great wrestlers, especially in MMA, you know, top ranked. So this is the place to develop my MMA wrestling.
And Rumble, this is a question for you. I kind of was mentioning this to you before, but do you feel the love that the fans have for you? Like, can you tell how badly people want you back? Do you feel that?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. For the since the day I retired, people have been contacting me and wanting me to come back to fight. And it really never died down. But once it was announced that I was coming back, it definitely, they showed me how much they appreciated the things that I've done in the sport and the entertainment and the excitement I've brought to the sport. So they've been showing nothing but love. So they excite me. You know, the fans definitely keep me excited now.
Well, and you were kind of a different breed of fighter. You were the guy that everybody was afraid of. It was like, oh, you know what, Rumble's fighting, I can't miss that. Do you feel that we have enough of those guys right now?
Not in the heavyweight division. To me, it's like everybody there's nobody afraid of the next person, which is fine. But, I mean, when I was fighting at 205, there was always at least one person in every division that was just a bad motherfucker, and just be like, yo, y'all need to watch out for him, you know? But they're not saying that really in the heavyweight division. You know, I think the scariest guy in the division for them really is Francis. The scariest, not the best, but the scariest.
That makes sense. And Claudia, for you, I know you were just talking about training with Mark Henry and those guys. When you look back, you know, you've had some ups and you've had some downs. When you look back in hindsight, do you see where things may have gone wrong? Do you see why certain fights didn't go your way, maybe in your preparation or just in your mindset?
I feel like we're competitors, right? We work with results. If things don't go your way, you know, something went wrong. And when you win, things go wrong too, you know, but we actually don't go back and fix it when you win, like most of the fighters, right? Now I try to go back and fix it, even when I win. I trained in Novo União for 10 years, and I left 3 years ago by myself, as a 27-year-old woman by myself in other countries. I didn't know where to go, what to do, who I should train with, you know. So I kind of was leading my own career, you know. I didn't have a manager, I didn't know what I was doing, and I went everywhere, you know. I trained in a bunch of places. I spent some time in Albuquerque, which was great for me. I had to change my mentality, you know, of that Brazilian brawler that just goes to the gym and beat each other up to a MMA competitor that understands the strategy and technique, you know. So I feel like these last 3 years I've been going through all of that, you know, and now being with Mark and Ricardo in New Jersey and spending time with all these amazing fighters I've been training with lately, it's bringing me back. You know, I'm more motivated now. You know, I felt like I lost that motivation because I was all over the place and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I was doing the right thing. I still had that feeling. I wanted to win, but I didn't have the motivation. You know, so I feel like I'm getting back there now.
Last question is Joanna or Michelle? Who's winning?
I want Michelle to win. Always against Joanna, right? But I think Joanna won that one.
Thank you.
This is goes for Eric Torito Perez. You have the fastest knockout in the UFC bantamweight division with 17 seconds, 5-0 in your last 5 fights. Making the transition to Bellator. What are your vision, your expectations of Bellator? Are we going to see the first born and raised Mexican be champion of Bellator? Is Goyito Perez going to be the Bellator champion?
Yes, I'm prepared for that. I jumped into Bellator because my manager told me that it was the best decision for me. And I think in this year, I was now in UFC, I was in combat. And this year, I'm evolution my game. So I think I'm ready for big fighters, big names, and I'm ready to knock out the guys.
You spent all your career by yourself, no manager, sometimes like just like Claudia said, you know, traveling around. Now you're under Lee's management, Dominance MMA, which is the largest MMA agency. How do you feel to be now under this agency?
Just I'm focused and fight. No, I'm not good at make business. I'm good at fighting. I'm good at go to the cage and be excited fighter. And you guys want to see, maybe a lot of guys know my name now, but you guys gonna see who is Goyito Perez.
Mensaje en español para tus fanáticos de México y Latinoamérica, Goyito.
Que pronto tendrán el primer mexicano en Bellator, el campeón de Bellator, estoy muy seguro. Pues,
I got a couple for Anthony, for Rumble. Right here, Anthony, to your left. Have you,
Hello, Greg.
how are you? Have you re-entered USADA testing pool yet?
Not yet.
When do you intend to do that?
Hell, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I'm just training. That's what I've been doing.
Okay. You looked like you did some weightlifting while you were away. What's the highest you got up to? What was your weight at? Whatever your heaviest?
Whenever I was really in the gym, I don't know, 260.
Oh, that's it.
Whenever I was like really in the gym lifting and stuff, but once I stopped, I got up to 276.
You mentioned Francis as being the kind of scariest guy in the division. I don't think many people would disagree with that. And it seems like that'd be an easy fight to market, easy fight to promote. You know, the scariest guy when you were in your prime versus the new scariest guy. You feel like you're probably on a collision course with him at some point?
Yeah, I think him and I will meet eventually, but I know everybody's wanting, most people just want to fight. But to me, and hopefully to Francis, it has to happen at the right time, not just a fight happen just to get everybody else rocks off, you know what I mean? Excuse my language, or however you want me to say it, but no, if I fight Francis, I want it to be for something like serious, not just the fight, the main event fight. I want it to be for, at least let us fight for the title, you know? That way it really counts, not just, like I said, getting everybody else rocks off and just trying to beat each other up for no reason.
Like a #1 contender fight? Would that be enough, or it has to be?
No, I want it to be a title fight. Like that fight is too hyped up and too big for it not to be a title fight. If one of us are holding the title,
sure.
You know, but if it's the last, you know, no other choice, then I mean that's what I have to do. But I don't see it going down that way. But we know how it goes.
Last thing I wanted to ask you about real quickly is, do you have any thoughts on Izzy? I mean, you brought him in to be your John Jones in 2015. Did you think that he, when you sparred with him, 3 years ago, did you see this coming at all from him?
Man, I didn't. I mean, I knew he was good. I didn't know much about him. Like I said, I just knew he was good. And once he got in there, though, I was like, this kid is going to make some noise. You know, once I saw him in the octagon doing his thing. But mad props to him for winning the title. You know, he showed that anybody can do it if you put your mind to it. Come with your own style, you know, and stick to who you are. So I like what he does in the octagon and the man he is outside of the octagon. I mean, I'm gonna give him his credit. You know, when we sparred each other, he got the better end of me. But I'm gonna put that one out there, everybody. He had just had a fight, and I was only 2 weeks into a camp. But he was piecing me up pretty good. But even whenever I'm usually out of shape, I don't get pieced up that much at least. But he definitely stuck it to me, and the kid is very special.
Thanks, Ed. And then just one real quick one for Aaron. I mean, we're here at this press conference. It's a management press conference, you know, and I think it's interesting because during your career, that's been a little bit of a controversy, right, of how Aaron's career has been managed, how his matchmaking has been managed. So can you just talk about your decision to use this management company and what you're looking for in management?
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes in my career, earlier in my career. But after my last fight, I just sat down with Ali, we met, and I heard nothing but good things with Ali. So I'm very fortunate that Ali was willing to help me and help my career get back on the right track. And I felt really good being with Ali, and I sat down with him and expressed how I felt and how he saw. You know, he said, "I still really believe in you. I feel like you can do a lot of great things." And he's seen me train. He's seen me go with the best guys in the world. So being with Dominance MMA, I feel that they're going to really help guide my career back on track and get me ultimately where we need to go. So I feel really, really happy with the team. So, and it's really nice being with Dominance MMA because I've met so many new guys. There's so many guys that I've trained with that I would have never trained with before if I wasn't with Ali. And it's kind of crazy because you see guys, you know, all the time like fighting on TV, and when you really get to meet them and talk to them, I mean, it's really special. Everybody has a lot of respect for each other, and it's really cool to be able to train with them and just pick their brains. And I feel really happy being with them. It's a great home.
Thank you.
Last we heard, you were probably going to fight Colby Covington in November. Now it's December. I'm just curious what happened. Why the sudden switch?
Well, yes, there's, you know, in this game, there's you know, as champion and being at the top of it, there's a lot of things that have to take place for a fight to come to fruition, which, you know, on my side, my team, their side, their team, and of course, the big promotion itself. And so, I know my team, you know, we always do the best job to try to make the fights happen. And since day one, since I got into this promotion, I've only said no to one fight. And that was Sergio Moraes, which I later on took on that fight. And we saw what happened. So I say yes to everyone. I said yes to these fights as well. But, you know, I can't speak for the other two sides, the promotion itself and you know, my opponent's side. But you know what? That was water under the bridge. The fight is now set, December 14th. I'm going to do my best to separate that young man from consciousness.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Is it a matter of you want to finish this emphatically because of who he is and what he said, or is it just you want to win and it's the W is what you want?
No, I mean, each and every one of my fights is I'm going to dominate. That's a given, if you guys have seen that. I mean, I think almost every fight I have a 10-8 round, if you go back and look at that. And I'm going to dominate these guys from start to finish because I am the best welterweight in the world. But this one's a little special. You know, it's very rare for a fight like this for the stars to align. I mean, if you start breaking down this fight, you will see that this is fate. This is not just any other regular fight that they're making. The beef is real, and I think this was fate. We're both 15-1. Those one losses, if you look at that, is to the guy that I beat. His loss is the guy I beat. My loss is to a guy he beat. We're both wrestlers. You know, I'm a small kid from Auchi, Nigeria, and now I'm on the stage where he wants to be. So this is a special fight. There's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of things that people need to kind of dissect and see that this fight was written.
And outside of what he said and how he's acted and said to you, have you been impressed with his actual fighting inside the octagon over the last few years, outside of the character that he's portraying?
Oh, he's the exact same guy that he was when he came into the UFC. Nothing has changed except the persona that he's putting on. That's the only thing that has changed. But, you know, now I'm the next guy up. That is my job to let him know that there's ramifications for this persona that he's putting on. You can't add to what the I guess the negatives that the world is going through nowadays. You can't add to that and think that it's okay. Someone won't teach you a lesson. And December 14th, I'm going to be that guy.
And I have to ask you about the November fight for the BMF title. It's in your weight class. I'm curious, as the champion of the welterweight division, what do you think of this title that Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal have kind of concocted for this November fight?
What is it called?
The BMF title.
BMF title? Oh, that's what that means? Bad mother. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. I think, let's just be honest, on the promotional side, I think they dropped the ball in getting my fight done, because that was the fight that should be in MSG. They dropped the ball there in getting that fight done, so they kind of have to, you know, create something to sell the fight. I mean, and look at those two guys. Let's be honest. These two guys have over 20 losses combined. 20 losses. How you call yourself a BMF and you got 20 losses combined? A baddest motherfucker alive is the guy that no one can touch. And hey, you got 20 losses, man, sit your ass down. You're not a bad motherfucker.
Thank you. And then one for Henry Cejudo next to you. Dana's been on record saying he wants Joe B to be your next fight. I'm just curious, a health update on yourself. I feel like you've been everywhere, Abu Dhabi, Melbourne, Mexico. Mentally, how are you feeling? Physically, how are you feeling? And is Joe B next for you?
But I have been traveling quite a bit, and I do have I probably have about a month left in order for me to start training again. So I'm looking forward to fighting sometime in March, whether that's going to be with Joe. You know, there's guys here even on the stage that we could possibly fight. And as of now, get healthy. Talk to the man Ali. You know, I want to give a big thanks to Ali for everything that he put together. I mean, this is, you know, showing power over here to to other organizations that, you know, we have a voice too. And this is such an awesome event, Ali, and thank you for putting this together, my brother. You guys can clap if you guys.
Nobody wants to clap for
Just to piggyback off of that, I mean, who's doing something like this? You know, that goes to show the powerhouse that you know, we do have power as well. No one's doing something like this, and you know, this is just the beginning. This is not even, we're not even there yet. This is just the walking stages.
Kamaru, I wanted to follow up with you. You mentioned Nigeria. Got to ask you about Israel Adesanya, what you thought of his performance. I mean, from the walk-in to the interviews and everything in between. What do you think about him, and how does that impact UFC Africa? How much closer are we to making that happen?
That's what we do. I mean, we have, you see the style that we bring in. I've been doing my thing for a while, and he burst onto the scene, you know, and he just set that bar higher. Who's doing it like us? You know, if there wasn't a reason to realize that, hey, this is where he should be, Africa is where he should be, who's doing it like us? I mean, look at my man here, Ottman. You know, this is my Moroccan brother right here. Look how fresh he is up here too. Like, no one's doing it like us from Africa. So, man, you know, Izzy is doing his thing. He's amazing. He's a different guy. He's not a guy who came on trying to be like me or anything. He has his own style, his own flair, and it makes me proud just watching him do his thing from each and every time he goes out there to perform.
You mentioned Mr. Azatar there. He's got the Morocco scarf on there. Let's ask. I mean, I heard Israel Adesanya mention that even though as much as he'd like to have it in Nigeria, he said Nigeria's probably not ready right now. Morocco is. You probably know the market better than anybody. So what do you think? Is it ready to host the UFC?
First of all, I want to thank Ali for this opportunity that he bring us all together. And thank you also to the legend Mike Tyson to make it happen in his place. Thank you for these both guys. To this point, we are working with Ali to bring UFC to Morocco. UFC have to come to Africa. We showed that we are able to take over in the UFC, and now we want to UFC come to Africa and welcome in Morocco. We're gonna make it happen. It's everything easy. Everything is set up there. Just come. Let's do it.
How soon? I mean, realistically, if you had to guess, it could, next year, that soon?
Anytime. Come tomorrow. We have everything. It's very easy. Everything is easy. Only the things which we want to make hard. Just come.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. We'll speak with Marlon, please. Marlon, it's been a few months. I know that a disappointing result for you last time out. Just kind of wanted to find out, where your head's at and what you've been up to since June.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. I lost my last fight. I had a tough loss. Was hard to digest. But we gotta get back. If you wanna fight, you have to fight through adversities. And I feel good. I feel healthy now, and I'm ready. Just waiting for Ali in the UFC, and we already asked for a fight. The fight I want is fight Jose Aldo, and we're trying to make it happen. And let's see. And if he wants, my side's yes, and we're gonna bring the show, and it's gonna be a great fight. And thank you, Ali, Rob, and Tyson, to have us all here.
I know that, probably after a loss like that, you're trying to move forward, and then you get stuck in a room with the guy that beat you. Is it awkward being around him, or difficult? I mean, he makes everybody cringe. Does he make you cringe?
Yeah, definitely. But my friend, I'm a fighter. I lost in the fight, and I don't want to embarrass myself. And I had the chance, I didn't do it there. Why I'm gonna will to do now, I gotta just get back, train hard, get better, and have another shot. I don't know if it's gonna be against him. I don't know if he will still be there, but I'm gonna get there again.
Thanks, Marlon. Quickly, I just want to speak with Fabricio. It's been a while since we've had a chance to speak to you. Listen, I know about a year and a half into this layoff now, and give me an idea. What's the feeling like? I know there was some frustration, and you were upset quite a bit. What's it like now?
Yeah, for sure, I'm very sad, about this. I know I'm innocent, but the first one I want to say thank to Ali. I think everybody here is happy with him. He make a very good job. Thank you, Ali, for many years. Example, I don't have a contract with Ali more. I represent him for sure. He represents me, but I don't have a contract, just like a man contract. Just look in the eyes and that's it. And I just. I did a lot of things, I have a lot of work. Tomorrow I go to China, and I have a lot of work, appearances, seminars. I stay with my family. I come back soon for sure. I want to come back very soon because, I'm 42 years old, and I'm young. My mind is very young. This is the point, This is a secret. I come back and I surprise you again. I shock the world again for sure. Thank you, appreciate it, guys.
Fabricio, how much have you been training during this time off? I mean, have you been on the mats a lot, or is it kind of too frustrating or painful to train?
Yeah, I train, but not every day like before, Before I train every day, but it's so hard when I have nothing to, have a fight. It's so hard. I have a fight coming up, just grappling, I fight grappling December 7th, just for fun, For fun is good money too, 100,000 just for grappling is good, Yes. And I love it. This is my life, man. I love grappling, jiu-jitsu, MMA. But I come back soon. I just have a meeting with Usada last week, and I come back soon for sure, man. But the point is a good point. I stay with my family. I enjoy with my family a lot. I enjoy with my family. I live in here, very close here, Paulo Viedo, Redondo Beach, and that's it, man. I want to enjoy. I just want to, guys, please. I want to hands up to Ali, please, the all fighters here, please. They did a very job. Ali, no like cameras, pictures, nothing. He's like,
And one last thing, Fabricio. You said you'll be back, you'll be eligible, I think, in May. What's the goals when you come back? You said you're a little older now. I mean, do you have a lot of...
No, I don't say old. You say old. I say my mind is very young. I say young, no old, I kill you after that, man. No.
What's the goal? Do you feel like you can fight a lot, or is it just a couple of fights?
I think, man, I just want to come back on the four fights, maybe 5. I don't know. You know, just when I come back, I wanna say stop when I stop myself. You know, not somebody say you stop the fight. That's it. I wanna stop when I say okay, I'm no good. You know, I did very thing. I'm jiu-jitsu champion, grappling champion. I triple C too. Yes. Hey man, what happened here? Who is the real triple C? You know, jiu-jitsu champion, ADCC, and the UFC. What happened here? Just let me know, please.
You see what triple C starts? You see? Hey.
For a question for Frankie over there.
Sorry, I want to add one thing to the invitation I said before. I had already one fight in Morocco, MMA fight. We have everything. We have a good healthcare, we have good infrastructure, we have good flights, we have good hotels, we have good venues. We have everything already in Morocco. Some people don't know what is going on in Morocco, but my brother, Usman Camaro and Henry Cejudo just came back from Morocco, and they saw, and they can tell you, everything is there.
I fought in Morocco one time, like a long time ago.
MMA?
No, it's like a free fight, like a stand-up.
A free fight on the street?
Yes, probably don't punch, you know. Just kind of, I fought there, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
In Marrakesh.
How you like
Long
it?
time ago.
You like it there?
2002, 2003, I think.
So we are ready since 2003. You're welcome. UFC, anytime you want to come, please just talk to my man Ali Abdelaziz. He's going to make it happen.
And another thing about that is, you know, you hear Africa, and everyone immediately in their mind, I don't know why, but we've kind of been programmed to think that Africa, for some reason, it's just lions and tigers running through the streets for some for some reason. That's not the case. You know, we have the infrastructure just like everyone else has the infrastructure. Yes, there might be as far as certain places has a middle class and to where the wealth is more spread around. It might not be that case necessarily in Africa, but we've got money in Africa. You think of all the resources that we utilize all through the world. Where do they come from? You know, we got money, we got the infrastructure, we've got things going on. Like, if you guys ever follow me, or some of you who do follow me, and you saw my posted while I was in Morocco, amazing, beautiful place, you know. And so, you know, it's about time for us to kind of break down that barriers and break down that stigma that Africa is just, you know, gorillas in your backyard and things like that. Come on now.
Question over there for Frankie. Just curious, checking in. How is bantamweight still the plan for you, and how's that going?
Yeah, still the plan for me. Just trying to get a fight booked, and then we'll get going with the weight and all that.
Okay, so you haven't started trimming it down yet? Or?
I mean, I'm pretty light. I'm probably about as light as every other bantamweight up here, so I guess I'm on par with everybody else already.
You're surrounded by basically the top 5 of the division. I mean, you got Marlon, Cody, Henry. When you look at them, is it almost strange to just be in this dynamic with them, knowing that you're basically coming to their land?
Nah, not at all. You know, I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been around a lot of people that I could potentially fight, you know. So this is a dominance thing, and come talk to you guys. I just want to tell a quick story about Ali. All right, that's a quick story. Now, I was in between management back in 2011. Ali was helping Henzo at the time, not really managing anybody. I think Henzo maybe had one fight in the UFC. And I was in between management. I was thinking maybe I'll just manage myself and get a guy to help me do sponsors. Call Henzo, say, hey, what do you think about Ali? He's like, yeah, motherfucker, Ali's the guy. All right, so I call Ali, I say, hey, man, how you help me with sponsors? He's like, brother, I'm coming down. I'm taking the train. I'm coming down to your house. Yes. So he comes down. I think my father picked him up from the train station, and he's all suited up. Probably not as nice as the suit, but suited up nonetheless. And at that, he's now, keep in mind, he's coming there to do my sponsors, but by the end of the night, he ended up managing me, and we came a long way, right? I said we came a long way. So give it up to Ali, man. He's a special dude. He's helped my career, helped everybody's careers up here, changing the game.
You gotta come and sit here.
He's going in the back. He's going in the back now.
One last one for Frankie right there. What are you looking for in your debut? What kind of opponent are you looking for your debut at 35? Are you just going to take anybody, or you want someone really high up there?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Ali figure it out. Obviously, I'm probably gonna fight someone ranked high. You know, I think what I've done in my career, I deserve that, and yeah, I'm ready to kind of have a new chapter in my career. 55, I think I had 12 or 13 fights. 45, I had 12 or 13, and here we are. Maybe we get 12 or 13 at 35.
Kelvin, real quickly, I could almost sense your frustration over Twitter on Saturday this past weekend. I'm just curious. I mean, what was that? That had to be a weird experience for you watching that fight.
Does this work? Yeah. What was the question again?
I could almost sense your frustration on Twitter on Saturday as the event was going on. I'm just curious for your watching that fight. It had to be a very strange experience for you.
Absolutely. I felt like it should be me up there. I feel like I should be fighting for the title and getting my hand raised inside the octagon for the title. And I was a little frustrated just because I felt like it was me. Back in February, I felt like I was robbed of an opportunity. And to see Rob go out there and put on a performance like that, it was a little disappointing.
How are you viewing the Till fight? In your mind, is it that one and then you're back in the title picture?
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that I win this fight against Till, that I'm next for the title. I mean, I think a rematch with Adam Saya is inevitable, like Thanos says. And let's make Rumble in the jungle, baby. Me and Izzy, Kumar on the card as well. Let's make it happen. Whatever.
Last thing for you, just curious, Darren Till coming up, I mean, a lot of people, it seems, have thought that he's a real middleweight, but now he's actually coming up, and you've done this same transition as him. He's fighting off a lot for his first fight taking you. I mean, just curious for your thoughts on Darren Till and this move up.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad transition for him. But ultimately, physically, I think he's going to feel great. I know how the transition was for me and how eliminating that weight cut aspect was such a positive thing for me. So I think he's going to be feeling good.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Good luck. And really quickly for Justin, just one quick thing for Justin. I'm curious, man. I mean, watching your fights all the way back from World Series of Fighting, it's crazy to see how you've evolved these last few years. Have you almost impressed yourself with the way that this has gone, these last few fights?
Yeah, I think so. I think fighting my 5 out of 6 fights main events is the biggest surprise to me. I didn't know if I knew it would resonate with people with the effort that I put in, but 3 big finishes in a row. I fight for money. I'm getting all the bonuses, so that's nice. And I'm number 4 right now, and I'm about to fight for a world title, fight the best man in the world, Khabib. So I absolutely am surprised, and I'm excited.
For you, are you just holding out? Is it Conor or nothing, or is it Conor or bust, or are you just like...
It's Khabib or nothing, pretty much.
Yeah?
3 big knockouts in a row, 2 guys that have never been finished in the UFC, or Edson has once, but Cerrone, no one's ever knocked Barboza out like I did first round. So it's Khabib or Conor pretty much for me. I guess I'll throw my hat in for I'll fight Diaz or Masvidal. That sounds fun. Because I want to fight Khabib, but I got to wait till September if that's going to be the case, if he beats Tony. And I love fighting too much. I don't want to wait that long. So I will have to fight before then. So it's Conor preferably. The man keeps saying he's going to fight. I really wish he would either get out of the ring. He's number 3. So he's only had one win ever in the lightweight division in his whole life. And so, yeah, it's tough for me to be okay with that.
A question for Cody. It's been a minute. We've missed you. If you could just kind of give folks an update on what your status is and when we could expect to see you back fighting.
Yeah, I've been on a little injury prone these last few fights and camps, but I'm taking my time. I just turned 28. I have a lot of life and fight in me. My hunger still is. Every day I wake up I'm excited to get back. My division is one of the most entertaining, best division in the UFC. You got Frankie coming down. You got Edgar. You got Marlon, got Henry, Dominic's making his comeback. TJ Dillashaw, he'll probably be back, once he's done taking his steroids. But, so it's a good division. Those are all good guys, so it keeps me excited. When I'm sitting there, I'm trying to recover and really heal. I'm not going to rush this recovery process. I thought when I was younger, especially being the champion, I wanted to defend that as quickly and as much as I could. And, 4 fights in 1 year, my body, it came at a cost. I was able to become a champion. I tasted it a little bit, and I'm more hungry than I've ever been. I have to go back up the mountain a different way, a different path, and I'm excited for that. It's a new adventure for me. The past is the past. Move on from that, learn from that. I think my whole entire life I've had to learn the hard way, and that's how I grew up. So you have to grow through what you go through, and this is I'm paying my dues to the sport. You have to pay your dues and your respect and the dedication. You see everyone out here on this stage comes from different walks of life, and they believe in themselves, they work hard, they pay their dues, and that's why we're all here together. And I want to thank Ali, Mike Tyson, and Rob Hickman for this amazing opportunity to bring such amazing humans and special athletes together to share this voice in the media. It's a relaxed vibe, it's no stress of any fight week, so it's nice to come out and just kind of see what's going on in our life outside of what you get to see fight week. A lot of us are different. You got to flip the switch and become that fighter. We're always not that, focused or, aggression towards, we're focused on a fight, but then we have to do media all day long. So it's nice to come out here and just, speak with you guys, fill you in on what we're doing in our life and obviously the recovery, the road. I'm hoping for March, a March return, hopefully sooner. I talked to Dana a few days ago. I would like for the UFC come back to Ohio in March. There's the Arnold Classic there. It's a great time to go and do that. So we'll see. You got Stipe as the champion again. So Stipe fight in Ohio, the home state. I would love to, and that's where I'm at with that. I'm excited to come back.
Thank you. And for you, Fabricio, you actually look younger. I don't know what you're doing, but you look younger. Someone kind of touched on this, but yeah, I mean, in terms of motivation, right? Because you're still calling the fights for the UFC, right? So you still are working around it. But how are you processing the frustration of being on the sidelines for this long?
Yes, I know the suspension, something happened the first time is so hard to me, Like first months is so hard, but after then I don't stay like think about every time I'm sad all the time. No, I'm just keep going my life. I did a lot of things, and I'm okay. I'm okay. Just so you guys see my face, and that's it. I'm okay. That's it. I'm happy. I told you guys. I'm enjoying with my daughters, my family. I travel a lot. I work a lot. I make a lot of money too. This is very important because everybody can make money. And the other thing I want to say to Ali, because I hear be a shy again. Hey, when you sign with Ali, when you sign with him, he bring into the store and they give it for everyone. You guys did it with you too? Or no? No. Sorry. Yes, for sure he did. Never. He never bring in the store and take for everyone. Car, yeah, this is all the thing. And I got a Ferrari. Yeah. And that's it. I'm happy, and I come back soon. That's it. I'm surprised. I have a lot of questions for me because I'm a suspension guy. All the guys, there's active guys here.
I have another question for you, only because everybody now after the incident with Tony, who makes a lot of fun of Tony's the kind of guy that, what do you feel of that whole situation that went down and how it kind of spawned this whole
the Tony Ferguson?
Yeah, from that lunch that time, and it kind of turned into this whole thing.
Yes, you there, you familiar. I just talked with you. I think it's your fault.
It is my fault. I fully admitted it because I spoke to you on the side and
yes.
He was offended and I apologized. But yes, I fully admit it was my fault.
No.
But
no, I think this fault is with Ali, this problem. He have a problem with Ali.
So it's not between
something, nothing, but for sure. But I don't know. I just say hi to him, and you guys see the video. Everybody saw the video. This is I think this is my record video in the internet. Like a lot of millions guys watch this. But today nothing, because after then he come talk with me. He don't say sorry, but just say everything. Give me a hand. I'm a fan, and that's it.
But you guys are cool together.
Yes, everything's good. Yeah.
Very nice. Awesome.
I don't like a couple guys from here, but I don't want to say who is the guy,
And last question for you, Justin. Obviously, if Khabib is next, obviously he's an incredible wrestler. You've been knocking people out, but we always talk to you and we're like, Justin, when are you going to use your wrestling? Would you prefer to knock Khabib out, or would you prefer to beat him at wrestling?
I use my wrestling. I would use my wrestling ability to stop takedowns against him. Yeah, I hit super hard, super athletic. Khabib's the best in the world, but on fight night, it's chance. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to give everything. Throw shit up the middle and try to catch him with something big. It only takes 2 or 3 calf kicks to make somebody really, really change the way that they fight. And so if I can go in there and land those in the first 40 seconds, then it's a whole different fight that he's ever been in. And that's something that I bring to the table every single time I step in there.
Thanks.
2 more questions, please. That's it.
Garcia, you ask and I shall deliver. Earlier, Kamaru and Henry mentioned the power of dominance and the power of the relationship. Can you expand on that? What does that practically mean for the fighters? How does this relationship, the deep roster, how does that help you? How does that serve you?
That's just maybe I'll speak because the thing is a lot of people tend to ask about Ali, and a lot of people have a misinterpretation. They misjudge somebody. Ali is so passionate with his guys that when you offend him, when you offend us, you almost offend him. So it almost becomes like a fight. Like what we have here is it's a brotherhood. And even though me and Marlon have fought, or maybe in the future me and Frankie will fight, or even Cody, it's we all go back and respect this man. Because that's what he does, man. Like it's a huge age. I think he has over 160 fighters that you represent, Ali.
And all of them get paid the most.
But it's he's building something good, and I think even the start of what's going on here, it's you guys are getting a gist of the fighters and their personalities. I mean, some of you guys have probably you guys broke bread with us in the back. We talked and whatnot, and I think that's what we need, and that's why we're here. Part of it it's to be a voice too. We can put on events, and I think so far so good. So thank you, Ali.
Yeah, just to expand on what he said, I mean, it's some of you guys, if you're on the internet, obviously you've seen how passionate Ali is, especially when it's me and him somewhere. I don't know why people kind of tag us together, but but that's how passionate he is. If you say something about me, you offend him. You say something about him, you offend me. And we've seen that. Hey, when this brother's in there, and all of us here, even though some of us brothers fight all the time, even though some of us might have to fight each other, at some point there's a common ground that we all have that common respect for each and every one of us.
Yes, I want to give the opportunity to all fighters say something about Ali or just myself, okay? Let's start here.
Okay, well then.
Okay, I'll say something about Ali. Ali is like an older brother for me. Maybe from everybody over here, I know Ali since the beginning, since he wasn't even a manager. Then he started managing Frankie, and that's when everything started. So Ali is like an older brother for me. He's a great guy, and what can I say? Like Verdun said, I don't have a contract with Ali neither. It's like man to man, and I believe in him 100%. So I'm really happy with him, and I'm really happy to see where he got. So it's awesome.
Yeah. I know Ali for a while, and Ali's a good person. You know, a lot of people talk a lot of trash about him, but he definitely has our back, you know. And the one reason I wanted to sign with Ali is whenever he dropped Malky when we punched him in his mouth. And I saw Forrest Griffin run over there and pick him up, and Ali said, "I told you when I see you again, I was gonna punch you in the mouth." He did what he said he was gonna do, so I was like, "That's some gangster right there." You know, I need a manager like that, and Ali's the one. You know, so if anybody's gonna have a manager that'll stand up for him and have his back through thick and thin, is Ali. So thank you, Ali, for doing what you do, man, for all of us.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going to sign with Ali because I thought he had bad habits. But he's actually an amazing guy. Yeah, I mean, I have a story, but I don't want to get into it. No, I don't. But he's a great guy. I mean, I think a lot of us are real appreciative of him. He's done a lot for us in our careers, and so just awesome guy. And Izzy, KG is here, ready to take his belt back. Let's make Rumble in the Jungle again. And it'll be us that'll be main event. Kamaru, I'm sorry.
You been smoking back there?
I think it's great. Ollie represents people from all over the world, and to bring us together like this and really helps us have a voice. I've never been around this many fighters at once, and one day, whenever we need to talk, I know that this can happen, and we'll all sit down and handle business. So I think that's a great thing that Ollie has. He's always looked out for us fighters and for the greater good of fighters. And he's also the best manager in the world, and he will prove that by getting me the Khabib fight before Tony.
I've been with Ali probably 7 years, and we respect each other, you know. He always done what he say, and I did too. And we get far together, and I respect him, and I see how he works with every one of his fighters, you know. He equally does same he did for me, he did for Corey, for all his guys, you know. And I'll stand for him, you know, whatever. Ali knows if something happen, I'm gonna be there, and I know if something happen, Ali will always be there. So I think everyone here is grateful and blessed to have this guy. He really takes care of everyone up here.
Yeah, I kind of gave my story already, but Ali's great. The proof is in the pudding, man. He's got the best clients. You know, everybody stands by him. Everybody talks highly of him. You know, all the hate you hear out there is kind of BS, and these are the opinions that matter, the people that he works with on a day-to-day basis, and what you hear from us is only good things. So thank you to Ali.
Thank you guys for having us here.
All right, everybody. I think that's